Welcome, crypto Ronins of the world. This is the Dow Realist, getting right into today's topic, which is all about gold. Gold, God's money on earth. This is where you go in order to preserve, store your value, maintain, keep your value, right? This is a very, very important asset class to watch, to pay attention to. Gold and silver is considered God's money on earth, while fiat currency like the US dollar, right, is the banker's money. And cryptocurrency is the people's money, right? You get into gold in order to preserve, maintain your value. You get into fiat currency in order to spend your value. And you get into cryptocurrency in order to increase and multiply your value, right? God's money, people's money, and the banker's money. So in times of crisis, whenever there's a looming crisis, or whenever the world is in a crisis or a region is in a crisis, you will see big institutions and big banks moving into gold in order to preserve, maintain, and protect their value. So when you see the central banks buying up all the gold, it will send off alarm bells. It should send off alarm bells into everybody who's watching. Central banks, gold demands hits first quarter record. Investment surge on U.S. banking turmoil, right? As confidence in the banker's money, the fiat financial economic model declines, big institutions like the central bank and others are buying up all the gold. Central banks added 228 tons to the global reserves just in the past 3 months. So they're going all in. There's a buying frenzy going on with gold. All right. In fact, the demand for gold among central banks notched a first quarter record high in 3 months, according to the World Gold Council. All right. So this is huge in 2023. This is coming off huge amount of accumulation in 2022 already. All right. So this is it's big news. Singapore has added 69 tons to its reserves. China has added 58 tons, and it holds 4% of the total global gold reserves. Turkey added 30 tons. India added 7 tons. So as you can see, the central banks of all nations are buying up gold. Banking turmoil triggers investment surge, as there's a collapse in Silicon Valley Bank, and in the new crisis with the First Republic Bank by JP Morgan and Chase, we are seeing institutions, big banks, and the smart money buying up gold reserve as a hedge to protect their value and to maintain it and to keep it. So that's something very important to consider and to look into and to be aware about. Colossal central bank buying drives gold demand to decade high, according to the Financial Times. All right. So we're seeing a huge surge. Annual gold demand increased 18% last year to 4,741 tons, which is driven by a 55-year high in central bank purchases, a 55-year high, according to the World Gold Council, right? So this has been this huge buying frenzy overall, right? A multi-decade high right here. And over here, if we look at this chart, central bank gold purchases hit highest since 1967. That's huge. This is here in 1967, right? Central banks buying up a lot of gold. And as you can see, over time, it declined. And then over here, around 2008, when we had that banking financial crisis, the housing crisis, etc., the financial crisis of 2008, we see central banks buying up gold once again. An increase, a significant increase, right? A massive increase. And then right now in 2022, 2023, we're seeing a further huge increase in the purchasing of gold, right? So this is very significant, a very significant change. And it's important to pay attention to the trends because the trend is your friend until the bend at the end. So if you pay attention to where the money is flowing, what's going on, it will help you position yourself in a way where you can also protect your wealth and multiply your wealth, which is what we want. Comparing the US dollar, fiat currency, the US dollar, the global reserve currency, to gold. Over the past century, what do we see? Step by step, the value of the dollar has been declining, right? And the value of gold has been increasing, right? Especially over here, if we notice in 1971, when the dollar was taken off the gold standard, we see a massive drop in value, right? And gold surging, the value of gold surging, because your dollar is no longer backed by gold anymore. It's backed by debt and by interest. We have a interest-based monetary system, a debt-based monetary system, right? And when the confidence in the fiat currency, if it is ever removed, then you're just going to be left with a lot of paper money. And you're not going to have any gold reserves because they've all been bought up by others. So it's something to consider and take in consideration what's going on and what are you working for and how are you going to preserve your value and how are you going to maintain your value and how are you going to multiply your value so that you can hold generational wealth for yourself and your family. It's something very important because you're all working for US dollars. Everybody's working for some fiat currency, right? But your currency, as we can see with inflation, is declining. It's going down. While other asset classes are going up, right? Like gold, for example, over a long period of time. But let's go a step further. Let's compare the value of gold with the value of the main cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, right? As we can see, ever since Bitcoin has been released to the public, it has step by step been increasing in value, right? Look at it compared to gold. The level, the speed, the multiple folds of increase that we're seeing with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is huge. It's off the charts. It's massive compared to gold. So if gold is performing better than fiat currency overall, and then in turn cryptocurrency like Bitcoin is performing better than gold, then what does that tell you about this asset class? It's the best performing asset class out there in terms of percentages return, right? And when we look in deeper into cryptocurrency, what do we see? Compare Bitcoin to altcoins. Altcoins will give you an even bigger return than Bitcoin will give you, a higher percentage return and many-fold return compared to Bitcoin. It's a real opportunity and a real chance to maximize your wealth. It's a real opportunity to multiply, right? This is why I say this is the people's money. This is the asset class to get into in order to make more money, in order to increase your value, right? As opposed to losing your value with spending in a sense, step by step, losing your value with fiat currency or just maintaining it with gold. Cryptocurrency is the place to go. And where in cryptocurrency? Not only just with Bitcoin, but with the altcoin. That's the sweet spot. That's where the maximum gains are to be made in cryptocurrency, in this industry, in this asset class. And in order to get in with the right altcoins and to choose the right altcoins to enter correctly, and to exit at the right time, you will need guidance, you will need information, you will need a knowledge base, you will need understanding. So it would be a great idea to join a community of like-minded individuals who are actively looking for, searching for, and discovering the latest altcoin crypto gems that can give you huge, massive returns in the next bull run. And our private community experienced such gains, huge gains, in the previous bull run. And due to popular demand, we have now opened up our community to the public, right? The DeFi enthusiasts, the blockchain optimists, and myself, the DAO realist, have come together to form the Crypto Ronins altcoin gem group, where we find you the crypto gems based on our life experience, which we have formulated into the 6 Ronin rules for finding these crypto gems. And this group is now open to the public. And if you guys resonate with our message and want to get huge returns and get in early with the next bull run and get in early with those altcoin crypto gems, I do suggest to you and I do recommend for you to join our group, right? And join our Patreon in the link below and start your journey with us in order to make those gains, so that we're not only preserving our value with gold, but we're multiplying our value and getting the gains and gaining generational wealth that can help set you and your family up for life. So join us. Let the gains begin. Ronins rise.